Now we are going to discuss about the mechanism of enzyme action. So, we know that the enzymes are a powerful catalyst. So for in our endogenous system, otherwise in our biological system, so many reactions is going to happen with the help of enzymes. So the nature of the catalysis, that means the reaction is going to induce, the nature is taking place in biological system. It's similar to that of non-biological catalyst. That means if the enzyme is going to work out either in biological system, otherwise non-biological system, whatever it is, the nature of the enzyme, otherwise the action of the enzyme is maybe unique. Even you have it's happen in our body, otherwise the same thing is happen on and outside our body in vitro condition, the mechanism is must be same. So that's the meaning of this sentence. The next one is, for any chemical reactions to occur, the reactants, yeah, so for any chemical reactions to occur, the reactants have to be activated state, otherwise is converted into the transition state. That means whenever during the reaction, the reactant, the substrate, it must be activated, otherwise is going to exit to the transition state. So that's happened with help of enzymes. So during the reactions, the substrate is must be converted into the active state, otherwise the transition state. So its conversion is it's taken by the some energy for the normal substrate, otherwise the normal reactant is converted into the activated state, means it's take some energy. So the energy is called as activation energy. How much energy is required to the reactant is converted into the active state, now that energy is called as activation energy. We can see here the energy required, for the reactants, it's undergo the reaction, is known as activation energy. Okay, that's a meaning. So we already in last point we have discussed that the reactant is converted into the active state, otherwise transition state, with the help of taking some energy. So the how much energy is required, now that energy is called as activation energy. So the enzymes, what's the enzymes involved in this part means, it's going to lower that activation energy. That means how much energy is required, now that energy has been minimized by our enzymes. So it's indirect meaning, without enzyme the activation energy is more, that means it take more amount of energy, so it may take long time. So the enzyme is going to reduce the activation energy, so the process will happen very fast. You can see here the reactants, when it's going to heated, it's attain activation energy. So simple things, the reactants, whenever we can apply some heat source, it's from the heat source is going to take in the energy, so that energy is called as activation energy. You can see in next point, in biological system, the catalyst or enzymes reduce the activation energy. That means our enzyme, simply it's our enzyme is going to reduce the activation energy, and it cause the reaction is proceed to at lower temperature. So that's the reason in our biological system, in our body temperature around 37 degrees Celsius itself, this entire reaction is going to happen because of our enzymes, because the enzyme is going to reduce the, otherwise is lowering the activation energy. Okay, that's a major point. So the next one is, so at the same manner, we know that in last point, the enzyme is going to reduce the activation energy. So from this principal point, we have some other confusion may occur. You can see that the enzymes do not alter the equilibrium constants. In last class, we have discussed Km constant and all, and equilibrium constant, so many things. So our enzyme is not at all is going to affect the equilibrium constant. It's only enhance the velocity of the reaction. That means the speed of reaction only is going to increase. Apart from that, it's not going to involve anything else. It's just a speed of the reaction by reduce the activation energy. The second point, the enzymes lowers the energy barrier of reactants, thereby making reactions go to faster. That's the same thing. Energy barrier வந்து என்ன பண்ணுது, reduce பண்ணுது. Because of that mechanism, the reaction is going to faster. The enzymes is reduce the activation energy of reactant. In such way, all the biological system occur. Yeah, the same thing. in our body temperature, it's around 37 degrees Celsius. In that body temperature itself, all the reaction is going to happen because of enzyme, because enzymes is going to reduce the lower the activation energy. For that reason, the every reactions, all the reaction is going to happen in our body temperature itself. We just see this picture. From this picture you can easily understand, otherwise in next picture some of colorful, easy to understand. So you just imagine here the two things is there. You can see that here the two transition point is there, A and B. The A point is a starting point, so this is the substrate concentration. So when you can see that this is the activation energy without enzyme. That means without enzyme means the substrate is taken the energy up to this point. Okay, so it's take more time, it's taken more energy. After that, after getting the transition state, it's converted into the product. This is the energy changes reaction, this is a product form. So the substrate, it's converted into the product. The B is product, A is a substrate, B is a product. So the A is starting point, the substrate, it's taken the energy, then it's converted into the product. Without enzyme, the activation energy without enzyme means it's taken more energy. You can see here, this is actually tunnel. That means with presence of enzyme, the activation energy with the enzymes. So if the enzyme is there, the energy is required for the activation is very less. So that's a phenomena. So in next picture you can easily understand. So this is a reactant, that means this is a substrate, this is a substrate, this is your product. So your substrate is converted into the product when it's going to reach the activation energy. You can see that this is activation energy. That means your reactant is going to the activation energy, get the activation energy, get the transition state, then it's converted into the product. So this is the range for normal activation energy. This is a normal phenomena. So you can see this diagram. So the same thing is there with presence of enzyme. Your substrate, it's formed with the complex with the enzymes. Here the activation energy is less. You can see here activation energy is here more, here is very less. So the reactant is just go for the activation, the state, active state, transition state, very less time there, because the reaction is going to faster, because the energy required for the transition conversion is very less. So the substrate is immediately it's converted into the active state, then it's converted into the product. So this is a simple picture, you can easily understand the concept. So the next one is the basic things. So we already know that the enzymes is always complex with the receptor, otherwise the substrate is going to complex with the enzyme. So enzyme is going to modify the substrate into product. You can see the enzyme, E denote the enzyme, S for substrate. So the enzyme is going to complex with the the substrate is going to complex with the enzyme, is going to form a enzyme substrate complex. So once if the complex is formed, two options is there. One is it's going to forward, the substrate is converted into product, the enzyme is become free, it's free for next reaction. Otherwise this enzyme substrate complex, it's further dissociate, it's the reaction is going to backwards. The enzyme substrate complex is going to dissociate, the reaction is going to backwards, it's coming back to the free enzyme and the free substrate form. Either it's going to forward reaction, otherwise it's going to for backward reactions. So the substrate must combine with the enzyme, the substrate must combine with the enzyme at the active site. The active site means some of the specific region in the enzyme. We know that the enzyme is made up of polypeptides, nothing but amino acid sequence. It's having more than number of amino acids. So in some of the amino acids, it's arranged in some manner. So it's the site is considered as an active site. That means that regions are specific regions. your substrate must be bind with the specific site, then only it's converted into the product. If apart from the active site is going to bind somewhere else, means the reaction is not going to catalyze. So this active site is very, very important. So enzyme substrate is going to bind with the enzyme at the active site to form a enzyme substrate complex. Once it's going to form a complex, means it's converted into the product. Okay. So for this phenomena, so this is a template. Once the enzyme, once the substrate is going to bind with the enzyme at the specific active site, it must be converted into the product. So this is a principle. So for this mechanism, some of the theories they have explained. What are the theories means? Three theories is very important. The first one is lock and key model theory. The second one is substrate fit theory. The third one is induced fit theory. The third one is substrate strain theory. The lock and key model theory is otherwise known as Fisher template theory. Induced fit theory is otherwise called as Koslin model. Then third one is substrate strain theory. So this is three mechanism, three theories I have. Say na, for the three theories, it's simply explained in this picture format. The A denote as the substrate. The A denote as the lock and key model. The B is induced fit model. The C is denote the substrate strain theory. So the first one is the lock and key model. Otherwise, is a Fisher template theory. So this is a nothing but this is the first model they proposed to explain the enzyme catalyst reaction. So enzyme catalyst reaction on the first propose panni or model they have derived. This is the first model, lock and key model. So what is this exactly? It's going to explain. According to this model, the structure, otherwise conformation of the enzyme is rigid. That means your enzyme is strong. It's like a rigid formation. It's, you just imagine this is a solid state. Solid state, it's like a rock. You just imagine it's a lock model. That means it's you can't able to change the structure of lock. So the enzyme structure or conformation is rigid. That's just imagine this is a lock. So when this lock is going to open, otherwise when you can close the lock, means when you can use the correct key, that time, that means the correct key only is going to fit with the lock, then only it's going to activate, otherwise it's going to inhibit. That means it's going to open, otherwise it's going to close. That means the substrate, it's going to fit with the binding sites, that is active site, just as a key fit. So your enzyme structure or conformation is rigid. It's like a lock model. It's you can't able to change anything else. The enzyme itself is not at all is going to change. It's a fixed. So your substrate must be a key. That means it's all must be made based upon the nature of enzyme. So then only is going to fit exactly. So the active side of the enzyme is rigid. So the pre-shaped template, that means the substrate exactly must be going to bind with the things. Once you can see the so you can see there this is a picture. So this is the enzyme. So this is this is enzyme. This is your substrate. So the substrate, it must be fit with the exact active site. So this is the active site. So you can see here your substrate also it must be in exact shape of the active site. Then only it's going to bind. So it's just imagine this is your lock, this is your key. So the substrate it's also must be a structural similarity with the exact active site bind. Then only it's going to bind. So here the binding states are fixed. Your substrate structure also fixed. When it's going to similar, then only it's going to bind. You can see here. So the substrate is exactly is going to match with the enzyme active site. So it's going to bind. Once if it is going to bind, it's going to make a reactions. After the reaction here, the complex is going to happen the reaction, then it's converted into the product. So it's like a ready-made material. Your substrate, it must be fit with the enzyme active site, so then only it's going to form a complex. So here some of the drawbacks is there, because the theory is not at all accepted by all, because the phenomena is going to not reliable, because the model does not give any scope of the flexible nature of the enzyme. What is the reason I said this model is not accepted by all the enzymes mechanism? Because in our biological system, the enzymes is not in rigid nature. That means the enzyme is not in a fixed form. It's always is so many confirmation is possible, because the enzyme is continuously is going to modify the structure. That means it's a flexible nature. So this theory is not fit with the that concept. So the model is totally failed to explain many factors. Enzyme reaction, many factors is going to fail, because this model is proposed, the enzyme also is going to rigid, the substrate also is going to rigid. So this phenomena, this theory is not is going to applicable for all the reaction. So that's the reason this model is going to fail. The second model, proposed model, this is the induced fit model. Here what's the mechanism? Once you can see the picture, easy to understand. This is the induced fit model. Sorry, here you can see the picture. This is the substrate. So substrate is having a pre-shape. So the substrate is a pre-shape, but the enzymes is doesn't having the proper fixed active site. So this is the active site. Okay, this is the active site, but it is not a rigid formation. Enzyme is not as a rigid formation. So once the substrate is comes to bind with the enzyme is going to modify the shape. You can see that this is the active site. So when it's going to come closer, it's going to bind. That time enzyme is going to modify the shape based upon the substrate. So you can see here, this is a substrate. Binding site is not fit, but the enzyme is going to modify the nature based upon the substrate. So it's going to modify it. Then it's going to make a form a complex. Enzyme substrate complex is there. Then reaction is going to happen. Then it's converted into the enzyme product complex. The finally it's going to, the substrate is converted into the product. The product is going to leave. The finally is going to form a free enzymes. This is the second theory. That model is called as induced fit model. So yeah, this model is proposed by Goslan in 1958. It's a more acceptable and reliable model for the enzyme substrate complex formation, because in our biological system, most of the enzymes is not available in the rigid nature. It's continuously is going to change the structure. It's a flexible nature. So this theory is exactly is going to fit for the most of the reactions. As per this model, the active side is not rigid and pre-shaped. This is the major thing. This is a reality. The active side is there, but it's not in the rigid in nature. It's always in flexible in nature. So based upon your substrate, the active side also is going to fluctuate. It's going to accept the substrate. It's going to form a complex. Then this complex is converted into the product. Then the enzyme is become free. Then it's going to release the product. So the interaction of the substrate and the enzymes is, sorry, the substrate with the induced fit or conformational change of the enzyme. That's as I said, that's the things I have said earlier. So based upon the substrate, the enzymes is going to induce to fit. The enzyme is going to modify the nature, conformation is going to change. Then it's going to form a strong substrate binding site. For due to this induced fit, appropriate amino acids, the enzyme it's repositioned from the active sites to bring out the catalysis. So that's the thing for the catalysis reaction. This theory is going to propose your enzyme is having active sites, but it's a flexible nature. It's going to modify the nature. When the substrate is going to come, it's going to modify itself. It's going to accept the substrate It's to form a substrate enzyme complex. Then it's converted into the product. So the induced fit model has a sufficient experimental evidence to form from the X-ray diffraction studies. So this model, otherwise this theory has been proved by the X-ray diffraction theory studies. It's going to prove. Apart from this, this model is also is explain the action of allosteric modulators, otherwise competitive inhibition method. So in last class itself, we have said in the based upon the mechanism is, we can say the competitive inhibition, non-competitive inhibition. That kind of mechanisms also we can derived, otherwise proved by this model. So this is the acceptable model. This is the easy explainable structure. The third one is substrate strain theory. This is nothing but it's same like a induced fit theory. In induced fit theory, what we have know that the enzyme structure, the enzyme active site is flexible in nature, so the substrate is going to bind, because the enzyme active site is going to change their nature based upon the substrate. So the substrate and enzyme is going to make a form a complex. So the enzyme is substrate is going to make a complex, then it's converted into the product. These are the phenomena we have seen in the last theory, that means induced effect theory. The same theory is here, but what they are proposed additionally, how it's going to form a product, that's the thing now. So the same thing, the induced fit, the mechanism is going to fit, but because of the enzyme is going to change the nature. That's a phenomena we have seen in last theory itself, because the enzyme active site is going to change the structure. The same thing, once substrate is going to bind, you can see the picture. So once the substrate is going to form a complex, the enzyme is give the stress, that means strain. The enzyme is give the strain or stress to the substrate. So that's the reason the product is going to formation. So the stress is applied to the substrate by the enzyme. That's the reason is converted into the product. Then finally is going to the product is cleaved from the enzymes. You got it? The same mechanism, the same induced fit mechanisms, our theory has been same here, but how it's going to form a product, that is another one point. Same thing, the enzyme is going to change their nature to favor the substrate is going to bind with the enzyme. After that, once the substrate is going to bind with the complex, you can see that also possible that the substrate is bind with the performed active site. The enzymes induce the strain, that means stress to the substrate. The strained substrate, it's lead to formation of product up to complex formation. That's same for the last theory, induced fit theory. After induced fit theory, the enzyme itself is give the stress to the substrate, it's form into the product. That is the third one. So these are the three models is there we have seen. First one is lock and key model, then induced fit, then substrate strain theory. So the next one is mechanism for enzyme catalysis. So three theory we have seen here. Some of the enzyme catalysis, four mechanism they have derived. The first one is acid base catalysis, substrate strain catalysis, the covalent catalysis, then entropy effects. I have briefly explained these four concepts. The acid base catalysis is nothing but we have seen how we get it's going to form a product. Enzyme substrate is going to form a complex, it's going to form a product. How it's going to form a product, the product formation, it's due to this four different mechanism, either acid base catalysis, substrate strain, covalent, and entropy effects. Acid base catalysis, first one is acid base catalysis. Though enzyme substrate is going to form a form a complex, after that what's happen exactly, it's same thing, acid base reactions, because enzymes is having made up of various amino acids. So amino acids is having various nature, pH nature is may differ. Some of the amino acids having high protonated form, some of the amino acids you can see here, histidine is a high protonated nature function of acid. The other acids like OH group, tyrosine, and cysteine, SH group. So this kind of acid groups, you can see there are carboxylic ions. So this kind of carboxylic ion, other acidic nature of the enzymes is going to make a complex with base substrate. If your substrate is basic nature, your acidic enzymes group is going to make a complex with basic substrate. So it's going to form a complex, acid base complex. So that's a reaction. It's called as acid base catalysis. The best example is ribonuclease. So the ribonuclease is going to cleave the phosphodiester bond. So it's high energy bond. So in a pyrimidine, in RNA, so this is a classical example. Ribonuclease is going to cleave the diester bond from the pyrimidine with the in RNA. Okay, was this is the best example. Acid base catalysis, nothing but acid is your enzyme, base may your substrate, so it's going to form a acid base catalysis, so it's going to form a product. Second one is substrate strain theory. It's nothing but in last substrate strain theory we have discussed on the same phenomena. The enzyme is going to given the stress to the substrate. During the course, the strain induction, the energy level, the substrate is leading to the transition state. The substance it's get the energy by stress of the enzyme. The enzyme is given the stress or strain to the substrate. Because of that, the substrate is going to the transition state. It's converted into the product. The mechanism, the best example is lysozyme. We know that lysozymes is going to cleave the structure. So the best example, 1,5-glycosidic bond is going to cleave by the things. Here, the mostly this substrate strain theory, it's also combined with acid-base catalysis also. That means acid-base catalysis is continued by the substrate strain theory. So first one is acid-base reaction, then it's followed continuation of substrate strain. The third one is covalent catalysis. Nothing but the covalent bond, we know that is one of the strong bonds. So the catalysis is mostly it's a negatively charged. That means nucleophilic, otherwise electrophilic nature, the positive charge. So the reactions catalysis is happen by the either nucleophilic or electrophilic in nature. So this group is attacked by the substrate. So the nucleophilic attack, otherwise electrophilic attack to the substrate, then it's going to form a covalent binding. So nucleophilic attack, otherwise electrophilic group transition towards the substrate. Substrate la irukkudiya substance வந்து நான் either nucleophilic conformation or electrophilic change nala it's going to convert the nature, so that condition is going to make a covalent binding with the enzyme. Okay va? So the best example is serine protease. So some of the examples are chymotrypsin, trypsin and thrombin. The fourth one is entropy changes, entropy catalysis. So nothing but we know that the exothermic, endothermic, நம்ம first class லே பார்த்திருப்போம். During chemical reactions, some reactions is may get the energy, otherwise during some reactions is going to produce the energy, endothermic, exothermic or isothermic reactions. So the thermal energy is one of the important factors, otherwise important mechanism for the conversion of substrate into product. So the isothermic reaction, the energy exchange between the reactant and product is negligible. So that means during the conversion of product into substrate into product, the energy exchange is very, very minimal. The best example, glycogen plus phosphate group, it's converted into the glucose 1-phosphate. The exothermic reaction, we know that it's going to liberate the energy. During the reaction, it's going to liberate the energy. The best example is urease. So when the urease is going to catalyze the reaction, that means urea, it's converted into the ammonia and carbon dioxide, some free energy. That enzyme is catalyzed by urease enzyme. So the energy is liberated. So it's a exothermic reaction. So endothermic reaction, the best example, the glucokinase. So glucose, it's converted into the glucose 6-phosphate. Okay. With getting the energy from ATP. We know that ATP is a high energy rich compounds. So it's going to donate the phosphate group. So the glucose is get the phosphate group from ATP. It's converted into the glucose 6-phosphate. Then ATP itself is going to convert it into ATP. So these are the 4 mechanisms we have discussed. 4 mechanisms. Acid-base catalysis. Acid group enzymes base substrate is going to form a acid-base catalysis reaction. Substrate chain theory, once it's continuation, acid-base catalysis, once if it is continued means it's give the stress, it's convert the substrate into product. The third one is covalent catalysis, nothing but nucleophilic, electrophilic attack, it's going to make a covalent bond. The fourth one is entropy effects. Either it's get the energy or lose the energy, or normal energy is not at all is going to change. It's isothermic reaction. So three theories: induced fit, lock and key, substitution theory. These are the three theory we can propose the enzyme complex models. Mechanism means four: acid base catalysis, substrate strain method, then covalent catalysis, entropy effects. Okay. So from this point I have stopped there. Class we have discussed the further things.